Akron Athletics presents Zips Weekly with John Groce. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and Hilton Hotels in Akron and Fairlawn. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Zips Weekly with head basketball coach John Groce. Well, the Zips right now are 15-5 overall, 7-1 in the Mid-American Conference. Big win last week against Ohio, then a tough 2-point loss down to Miami on Saturday afternoon. The Zips will try and start a brand new winning streak Tuesday night up at Eastern Michigan before coming home Friday night for another nationally televised game against the Toledo Rockets. That one will tip off at 9 o'clock. And Coach, talking to you after the game on Saturday, your thoughts were on that game, but also getting this thing going again on Tuesday night.
Yeah, trying to get it going again and playing better. Quite frankly, I mean, we obviously split this past week, as you just said, but I thought we stunk in both of them, to be honest. I mean, I thought our execution was really poor. Our ability to do our job consistently throughout the course of the game was really poor. I thought that the other team in both cases, in one of them we got away with it and got a win, and the other one we didn't, I thought played with an exceptional amount of desire. It was their Super Bowl, and I've tried to explain to the guys that you got a bullseye on your back. And I always say the old Mark Twain, I mean, people learn different ways. I mean, they learn by seeing, they learn by doing, they learn by hearing, and they learn by peeing on the electric fence. And so hopefully by peeing on the electric fence, it got their attention, and we'll get back to doing things in a more disciplined fashion, doing our job more consistently than what we did this past week.
They're a veteran group, Coach, and you know this team better than anybody. What's your thoughts about reacting to that loss at Miami? 2-point loss, you battled back, you're 10 down in the second half, tie it, then lose it on the last second shot.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot different than the Ball State game, right? We were behind, came back, and we were fortunate we made a few shots. Ali had a really good three during that stretch late in the game that he missed. That was one we made at Ball State. Like, the margin for error is small. I don't worry about game winners and one shot and all that. I'm not caught up in all that. What I'm more interested in is the consistency of which we do our job with great focus, great effort, and great desire, with the right mindset and the right heart set. And I just feel like our discipline right now, the way we wanted to cover certain things, whether it was blob, underneath out of bounds. You saw them, they got two layups, Joe. I mean, that's unacceptable. I mean, we covered that. We went through that. This is how we want to guard it, and we didn't do it. And quite frankly, it's my responsibility. I'll take responsibility, but we got to be better. We got to be a lot more disciplined than what we were if we expect to play better and do some of the things that these guys are wanting to do. If you have certain goals and dreams and things you're wanting to accomplish, but yet your habits don't mirror that, then you need to change your goals and dreams. You need to lower the standards is basically what they need to be told and will be.
Exactly. As we said, the week started out well, a big home win over the Ohio Bobcats. Let's go back to Rhodes Arena on Tuesday night, pick up actions. The Zips are going to get a big win over the Ohio Bobcats. And boy, a slow start, Coach. I think we're about 4.5 minutes in. It's still 3-2.
Yeah, just weren't real sharp early. Kind of mucked our way through this one, as I was referencing earlier. And we won the game. And, we got the opportunity to learn from a win. This time now we got to learn from a loss. It is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. But, we did some good things. We got good players. They made some play. I thought our scheme in the Ohio game was really good. I thought assistant coach Rob Fulford did a terrific job of preparing us for the game in conjunction and working with other staff members and their roles in that. But I thought the scheme was good. And then obviously we got good players. Guys step up there. You see Ali make a really good play. But the discipline and the things, the intangibles that it takes to be a championship caliber team were missing. And they were missing again Saturday in Oxford. So we've got to answer the bell here and got to be a lot better.
Zips scored off their defense early, took a 12-4 lead. You can see right now Akron up by 10 at 30-20, but the Bobcats are going to battle back, Coach. I think it's 25-18. You call a timeout to try and stop their momentum a little bit.
Yeah, I just thought we were trading baskets.
Right.
Looked like we were playing, just kind of playing basketball rather than trying to put our foot on their throat. Ohio's a good team, and Jeff does a good job with them, man. They got good players, and you let them hang around. They're gonna continue to compete. We know that about Jeff's teams. And so I thought that they did a great job and made it really interesting at the end. But part of that too was exasperated by our mistakes. We make too many. We're just not disciplined enough. We have been at times, especially earlier. We've got to get locked back in and be a lot more focused on what the heck we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, a few seconds ago, we saw Sammy Hunter hit a big three-pointer from the corner. That was the final play of the first half. Zips were up 35-26, but from that point on, it's pretty even, Coach. They battle back. They stay within 3, 4, 5, or 6, and that's dangerous if they get to there and maybe have a final possession.
Yeah, no question. You see KT make a big three there. Shema made a big three. I thought Dawson's three when they made the run there after the no-call foul on Freeman where he got fouled twice on the play, and they didn't call it. The game got to one possession. Mike Dawson makes a big three, huge three in the corner that kind of stymied that run that Ohio was on and got us headed back in the right direction.
Zips finished with 3 players in double figures. Enrique Freeman has 19, Greg Tribble with 10, and I think Shama had 10 that game, really played well coming off the bench.
Did. We got multiple guys that can get double figures. We've said that, how success is going to look different for different guys on different nights. We have the ability to score. We have talent. We have depth. Obviously, we're missing Nate Johnson. That's a significant piece, and he's tracking well, but more than likely he's not going to be back until the very end of the regular season. So, we'll continue to keep battling, got to keep getting guys better. Our older guys really need to step to the plate and be a lot more disciplined and lead our younger guys in that regard.
That was Akron's 15th win of the season over the Ohio Bobcats, 67-58. We're going to take a break, come back and watch the replay of Saturday's tough loss on the road down at Miami right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go! Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly with head basketball coach John Groce. I'm not sure, Coach, you may know this, the last time a team went undefeated in the regular season in the Mid-American Conference. It's been a long, long time. It's tough because you go on the road in any type of conference, it's tough to win.
Yeah, no question about it, right? Yeah. And obviously everybody knows it's harder to win on the road. But good teams and good programs, they find the way to do that.
Yeah, you're right.
This group has had a lot of success on the road and in neutral sites. Relative certainly to what the national statistics show in terms of how you're supposed to perform when you're away from home. So give them credit for that. But, right now our focus is on the moment. Where are we at right now? How do we get better? Again, I think a lot of it comes down to discipline. I didn't think necessarily our effort was poor. I'm going to tell you right now, like people like, you underestimated them. No, we didn't. We had 2 great days of practice. Guys wanted to go in the night before and shoot at Millette. They did it. I was watching my son play that night. Heard it was unbelievable. Players ran it. They were locked into the. No. We're not going to disrespect Miami like that. Miami beat our butt. Miami played better than us. They beat us. And so we got to figure out how to be more disciplined and make more winning plays on a consistent basis. The story should not be that anybody was underestimated. Yeah. We didn't play well enough.
Well, let's go back to Millette Hall on the campus of Miami University. Saturday afternoon, a rare Saturday afternoon game. Zips have a chance, I think, in the first half, Coach, to kind of really separate. You hit 3 threes to start the game. Then you go up, and then Miami comes back in that second half to really cut into the lead.
Yeah, no question. I thought we got up to a great start, right, Joe? So what happened is they trapped Freeman. You saw it. You and Dave saw it. Yep. And he did such a good job of getting it out, Joe. How about the quality of the threes we got early in the game? Wide open.
Great looks.
Yeah, and here's another one. We're just making these things left and right and got off to a great start. And I don't know whether our guys thought it was going to be easy. There's another one. Whether it was going to be easy at that point and they let their foot off the gas. But give Miami a little bit of credit. They continued to keep playing. Yeah. And you can tell from their post-game comments. from Darwishi Hunter, who I thought he and Marambo were the best two players in the gym on Saturday, quite frankly, on either team. How big the game was for them. Hey, we're playing the league leader at home. I mean, they're excited to play against Akron. And, we've got to match that and then go beyond that, and that's the challenge. But more important than that in the emotion side is discipline. I keep saying it. Are we doing what the heck we're supposed to be doing? Great move here by Freeman. It was one of the few times, Joe, they played him single coverage.
Right.
And so he put the guy in the hole there right with a left-hand right shoulder hook. But right here, like we're not between right even there on that clip in the corner with Lely. Obviously, Shema comes up with a big steal. Here they come on the double late. Freeman takes advantage of it, scores. Quick spin there off Potter. We did some good things. We got good players. They made some talented plays. But our discipline, the little things got to be better. I thought we tried to turn it up late, in particular, Ali and Freeman. I thought did a great job of really trying to turn the screws up late. But we need that for the full 40. There you see Tavari Johnson making a floater. He also made a pull-up from the right short corner here, next clip.
Yep.
Made a couple big plays there late in the game. Thought he was really effective for us late, and thus he played more. So Freeman makes a big three, obviously. And then Greg ultimately here, great finish there by KT in transition. Greg here in a second is going to tie it before Darwishi Hunter makes the game winner.
It looked like early in the game, Coach, the way they were defending Enrique Freeman, they were bringing people and triple teaming him down low. They were saying, hey, Freeman's not going to beat us. Somebody else is going to have to beat us today.
Yeah, no question. And we took advantage of that early, right? Yeah. We really did. There you saw Greg's layup I was referencing, tied at 68 all. But we did. I mean, the quality of the threes we got early was unbelievable.
Wide open.
Yeah, and Enrique just doing his job. I thought he was pretty good during the game consistently. When they brought 2 and 3 guys to him, he just gave it up, and we got really good shots.
Zips lose it by 2. We had the ball with a second left, Coach, and we talked about after the game. A lot of things you can try, but that's a miracle right there.
Yeah, no, it is for sure, right? Full court inbound and trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
Chicken salad out of chicken dung, as my old boss Thad Mata would say. But yeah, so we gave it a shot there, but it really, people like to focus on the last play and give Hunter credit now because he's made 3 game winners.
Yes.
So he's got some moxie. There's no question about it here and here. But it wasn't just that play.
No,
I mean, we had a ton of plays that we were capable of making that we didn't make from a scheme standpoint, from a discipline standpoint. And I'm not talking about making shots. You don't make shots all the time.
Right.
You know that, Joe. You've been doing these games for years. Like, sometimes I don't worry about that. I worry about the quality of the shot.
Exactly.
You get a good shot, like I'm cool with that. But too many tactical errors, especially on the defensive end.
Well, the Zips right now, as we said early, 15-5 overall, 7-1 in the Mid-American Conference. We'll talk about upcoming opponents a little bit later. Right now, we're going to take a break, come back and announce our Players of the Week right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing.
Let's go!
Here we go now.
Well, each week this time we announce our Players of the Week, and no surprise as always. How about Enrique Freeman, our Player of the Week, and the numbers back that up. How about 37 points for the week, 20 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 for 4 and 3-pointers. Coach, everybody in the league, little different defense, but they're not going to play man up on him at all every game.
No, they're doubling him every chance they can get. And we've seen every double team that you could imagine at this point. And certainly Enrique has, in particular, Joe, over the last 2 years, right? He's seen ball side traps, nail traps, big on big traps, lowest weak side trap, designated guys trap. You know, it's over and over and over again. He just continues to get better at handling it. As we talked about earlier, I thought he did a great job of getting the ball out of there, almost like a hockey assist right? He gets it out, the guy makes one more, we get wide open threes.
Right.
That happened a lot early in the game, but yeah, no, he did a lot of really good things. In particular, I actually thought he was better in the Miami game than the Ohio game, even though his statistical production mirrored each other. I thought he was he was one of the guys that I thought was most consistent, certainly in the Miami game. But, you know, it's interesting. I'll give you guys credit. If you can find someone that's a player of the week from this past week based on how we played, you guys are rock stars.
I'll tell you what, we do have another player to talk about, but Coach, you know how physical demanding to play Division I basketball, especially down in the post, and you mentioned every week on the radio side or here all the punishment that Enrique takes every game.
Oh, it's crazy, you know, and I think it's almost like right now the philosophy of a lot of teams is to try to beat him up, and Reed just keeps coming, right? He's got great motor, he's wired that way. But in all fairness, you know, they invade. There's this new cylinder rule where if a guy has the ball, Joe, you can't defensively invade his cylinder space.
Right.
Well, shoot, if that's the rule, then, you know, I told the one official, you're wasting my time sending me these clips because you guys aren't calling it.
Yeah.
And I think they've got to do it, and hopefully they'll do a better job of that here down the stretch as we continue to make note of it.
Yeah. We do have another player of the week. How about Shema Scott, young man out of Shaker Heights, transfer from Wichita State, had 10 points, good game against the Ohio Bobcats. For the week, 15 points, 9 rebounds, couple steals, 2 block shots, becoming more a part of this team every game. And Coach Shama, our player of the week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's continued to grow, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
He had a couple chances I'm sure he'd like to have back where he missed a couple layups
Exactly.
at the rim that led to breakouts for them that were key, not only in the game in Oxford, but also the game here at the Jar against Ohio. But, you know, he's doing some good things. He continues to get better. We've talked about him previously. And he's getting comfortable and knowing what he's supposed to be doing, especially on the defensive end.
Exactly. Well, congratulations to those 2 young men. As we mentioned, 2 more big games this week. Tuesday up at Ypsilanti, Michigan against Eastern Michigan. Then Friday night at 9 o'clock, hope you're planning to be there, a nationally televised game against the Toledo Rockets. That will be a good one. We're going to take a break, come back about those 2 teams, talk a little bit about what to expect from them right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing.
Let's go!
Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly. Each week we try and give you a little bit of information on the upcoming opponents, and it's always brought to you each week by the Hilton Fairlawn Hotel out on West Market Street in Akron. Zips will try and start a brand new winning streak. It'll have to be on the road Tuesday night up at Eastern Michigan, and they are coming off a big win over Buffalo, Coach, 75-65. And they shot 50% from the field on Saturday, 41% in three-pointers. They're shooting the ball pretty well now.
Yeah, had a great game, right? A great outing. I'll obviously continue to take a look at more of them as we continue to move towards the game. And I thought that, you know, obviously I remember watching them play when they beat Kent.
It came from 17 down.
Came from 17 down, which obviously shows a lot of moxie. Orlando Lovejoy, who's a big part of what they do, combo guard that plays for them, had a nice finish there to win that game. But, you know, obviously when you talk about Eastern Michigan, you have to start with Acuff, who's the leading scorer in the MAC. Just an explosive scorer. Joe, he's capable of 30-plus on any given night, no matter who he's playing. Because he just has the ability to be able to score the ball off the catch, off the bounce, mid-range, at the rim. He gets fouled, a high free throw rate, good free throw percentage, just an elite offensive scorer. And so we're going to have our hands full with him. Have to do a good job with our team defense on him. And then I think the other thing that's really unique about them, when you look at their roster, they're very front court heavy.
Okay.
So they're huge. You know, based on per player, they're the tallest team in the league. Okay, so they've got Acup and Lovejoy that play guard for them. Then they've got a couple shooting wings, or a shooting wing, I should say, and a driving wing. And after that, the other 6 guys they played are all 6'8" to 7'1". I mean, they are really big. So obviously we're really concerned about the glass. Got to keep them off the backboard and make sure they don't get, try to limit those second chance opportunities.
I know coaches like big guards, and Acuff is 6'4". That's a tough matchup at 6'4".
Tough matchup because he can shoot over the top of smaller guards. He's an elite scorer. He just has the ability to score. You know, the late, great Tom Konchowski, who used to run HSBI scouting service, tremendous person and evaluator. When a guy could score like that, he would say, he scores like we breathe.
Yeah.
and that's Acuff, just an elite scorer.
Exactly. Coached by Stan Heath in his second season up at Eastern Michigan. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off up at Ypsilanti before the Zips come home. Friday night, it's a 9 o'clock tip-off. Remember that nationally televised game. Toledo Rockets will be in town, maybe for first place in the Mid-American Conference. And to say the least, Coach, that will be a big game.
Yeah, no, anytime you play Toledo, right? They're well coached. They're one of the nation's best offensive teams from year to year. Todd does a great job with them. They've got a couple freshmen that they've added. As I've watched some of their games in preparing for the other opponents, you start to see some of the other teams in our league, obviously, because they're all playing each other. The freshmen are coming along. Simmons, Wilson, Lewis, all those guys. And then he has a veteran core around them that's used to winning, like Moss is used to winning. Those guys are, they win. It's what they do. They've developed a great program, and it's always a challenge when you play Toledo.
Yeah, they beat their arch rival on Saturday, Bowling Green at home, 88-72. Another team that shot the ball really well this past weekend, 56% from the field against the Falcons, 11 for 26 in three-pointers.
Yeah, no, they can do that, as you and I know. Yeah. They're so gifted offensively, run great stuff. They recruit to that, and they're really challenging to guard.
We mentioned some of the outstanding players. It looks like they have a really good core of scorers, Coach. They got Dante Maddox. He had 26 points against Bowling Green. Tyler Cochran, 17. Raheem Moss seems like he's been there forever. He had 15. Good core of players.
Yeah, no, great point, Joe, because we mentioned Moss earlier. Yeah. But Cochran's played. He's like some of our older guys. He's been in the league for 5 or 6 years at 3 different schools, so he knows the Mid-American Conference really well. And then, obviously, you mentioned Maddox. And I'll never forget the game Maddox had in here last year when we played him at home. He was tremendous. His dad's his high school coach, who I know well, and does a great job. And Dante's a phenomenal shooter. And I think even this year has developed into more of a scorer. Always plays hard, smart player. So they've got that core of guys you're talking about, Cochran, Maddox, Moss, surrounded by some of these newcomers that are really evolving, developing, and growing. And it makes them very dangerous. Yeah. Offensively, they are elite. And then defensively, they always scheme. They switch a lot and scheme and try to take away your best actions or plays that you might run. So you've got to be able to play basketball against them and counter. It's not about plays. It's about players making plays. But obviously, we'll get to that point when we get to them. Right now, our focus is on, as we said at the outset of the show, becoming more disciplined and more consistent in doing our job at a high level with a great mindset, a great heart set, with great desire, more consistently than what we did this past week. Exactly. The only loss in the league for Toledo is to Central Michigan. They lost on January 19th by a score of 65-62. Coach, let's start winning again on Tuesday night. We'll talk about that next week. For head coach John Groce, I'm Joe Dunn. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next week. Always remember, go Zips. Thanks for watching. Zips Weekly with John Groce. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and the Hilton Hotels in Akron and Fairlawn.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.